To everyone who already saw this video, because I kind of re-uploaded it, I offer you honey barbecue twists, because if you've never had these before, they are an addiction. What is up, everybody? Mystic7 here, and today we're going to be talking about the brand new Pokemon Go update and how to maximize your kilometers for your buddy Pokemon. Because we don't want to go walking around, walk 10 kilometers, get a couple of candy, and realize that those 10 kilometers were completely wasted. I don't know if you guys have walked 10 kilometers just for fun, but it's not fun. You don't want to just do it and be like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. So today, I'll be teaching you guys some strategies, and there are 4 main ones depending on what you guys want to do in the game and what your goals and your long-term goals are for Pokemon Go. So let's get right into the news. I'm playing, but let's talk about some strategies. Now, strategy number 1 is going to take us over to the most beloved Pokemon in the entire game, the Zubat. Like, how can y'all just love this guy? He's like a little flapping piece of... Whenever I see one of these in the wild, I'm triggered, not only because it's a Zubat, but because now I have to catch it. And it's not because I want to catch them all, it's because of this strategy. And this is the 2nd gen strategy. Basically, what you want to do with this strategy is for all of the Pokemon coming out in Gen 2. Now, this is like, you know, if you filled your Pokedex, or you don't care about filling your Pokedex, and you want to be ready for when Gen 2 comes out, you set Pokemon that are going to be in Gen 2 as your buddy Pokemon, so you can build up those candies so that when the new Pokemon come out, you can just evolve right to them. So let me go through my list of 2nd gen Pokemon evolutions that you guys should be ready for, and you should be stacking the candy up for. Yes, you guys guessed it. The first one we're talking about is the Zubat. The Crobat is an evolution after the Golbat. If you thought a Zubat was a pain in the ass to catch, try a Golbat. The next one that I actually don't have right now is a Slowpoke, so I'll choose my Slowbro because, you know, he's kind of a Slowpoke, right? He's a bigger, better Slowpoke. But the Slowpoke can evolve into a Slowbro, and now with Gen 2, into a Slowking. So you're going to want to save up your Slowpoke candy and be ready to get your Slowking. Now, right now, I only have 36 Slowpoke candy, so this is a Pokemon that I might consider even walking, but there are a lot of Slowpokes, or a good amount that spawn around Santa Monica, so I shouldn't have that hard of a time stacking up my Slowpoke candy. But I'm definitely going to want to bring this up, so if you guys want your Slowking, it's the candy that you're going to want to get through that buddy system. You got to walk in that Slowpoke candy. This little adorable shit is going to be very, very useful for getting a next-gen Pokemon, and it's going to be the Politoed. That actually will be an evolution of the Poliwhirl. So one evolution past this, we got Poliwag and then Poliwhirl, and then from the Poliwhirl, you can go either Poliwrath or Politoed, depending on some new items that might or might not be put in the game, or maybe it's even random like the Eevee evolutions, but we're gonna have to find out. But as you can see, I have 248 Poliwag candy, so I do not have to worry even a little bit about getting the candies for Gen 2, because actually, I mean, these spawn everywhere at Santa Monica, and really anywhere I go, because I'm usually by water, and now I haven't really, like, prioritized catching these guys, but now that I know that I need this for Gen 2, I've been catching every single Poliwag I can find, and it's paying off because I have 248 candy, so I'm ready for the Politoed. The Oddish is the infamous 420 Pokemon of the game, and you're gonna need his candy to get the Blossom. Yes, guys, there is another evolution after the Oddish. You evolve the Oddish to a Gloom, and then you can either evolve the Gloom into a Vileplume or Blossom. All this means is that I need more candy because I recently just got my Vileplume, and I am down to 46 Oddish candy, so that's a little bit unfortunate. So this guy might be a walker, and he might have to be my buddy for a little bit. Who doesn't love themselves a good Eevee? There are 2 new evolutions coming to Pokemon Go from the Eevees, which I am very excited for because the Eevee evolutions are probably the most fun, at least right now, and then it's going to be awesome seeing even more added to the game, and those 2 ones will be Espeon and Umbreon, day and night Pokemons, and actually there's some speculation that you could quite possibly get these Pokemon depending on if it's day or night, because obviously if you guys look, right now it is day. Oh, Abra. I need these candies so bad. This is another one. Oh, 337. No, I don't want to throw a Pokeball. Okay, I know I could have just thrown the ball away or dropped it, but I panicked, all right? I really wanted the Abra, and I was too juiced, and I panicked. Oh, God, there's a way to cancel this, right? There's a way to cancel the ball. I forgot. My buddy, he taught me a trick of, like, how to cancel the ball. I don't know how to do it. No, he's going to run if I miss. He's going to run. Please don't run. This could be... Damn it. As you can see, it's daytime in Pokemon Go, so that means that day and night we could possibly get the Espeon during the day and the Umbreon during the night, which is a really, really cool feature, and I hope they add that. Where's my Eevee? So you're going to want to save your Eevee candies, which might be kind of hard because they are very, very fun to evolve because, I mean, you got 3 possibilities, and they're all pretty decent, but everyone wants a big Vaporeon, and then I've got a pretty good Eevee here with a good IV, and I also have 198 Eevee candy, so I might just evolve a couple more, but I think I'm going to save that because If it's random, just like the other EVs, like when you evolve, and there is no EV evolution trick to getting the new EVs, there might have to be a lot of blind evolutions hoping to get the new ones. So I'm going to save up these candies. But yes, EV guys, save up your EV candies. Here's one I absolutely hate having to catch, and it looks like now I kind of have to, is the Onyx. This big rock motherfucker is going to have the Steelix coming out in Gen 2. So you're going to want to save up your Onyx candy. Now, for some reason, I found myself with 105 Onyx candy. I don't really know how, so I'm assuming I've got enough Onyx candy for the Steelix when it comes out, and I need to catch a good IV one, but I have the candy for him, so I don't have to walk this guy. But you're definitely going to want to stack up your candy for the Steelix because he's going to be a beast. This is one of the most rare Pokemon I caught in all of Disneyland, and that is the Scyther. The Scyther is going to have another evolution coming out, and it's going to be the Scizor. You got to say it with some sass. In Generation 2, the Sizzle is going to come in this bitch. So you're going to save up your Scyther candy. I do not know how much candy it's going to be to evolve the Scyther to the Sizzle. But all I know is that I only have 23 Scyther candy because they're actually pretty rare, and it's going to be a struggle stacking up on the candy. I am very happy about this one because there is no shortage of horsey candy anywhere I go, whether it be in Santa Monica, Long Beach, or San Francisco. These little guys are literally everywhere, and they're so cute. But there will be another evolution added into the horsey candy evolution chain. Right now, it's the horsey, and then the Seadra, which is 50 candies, and then coming in Generation 2 is going to be the Kingdra, the mighty Kingdra, and that's probably going to be 100 candies to evolve to that. So I currently have 100. I have 100 even candy for my horsey, and it's going to be 50 to get to the Seadra, and then I'm assuming 100 to get to the Kingdra. So I'm definitely going to have to start catching these guys more often. I have not been catching horsey candy at all just because, I don't know, they look cool, but I don't really want to waste my balls on them. But now it's not a waste because I need the candy, so I'm going to be catching more of these and probably walking some because I'm going to want that Kingdra because he's going to be a salve. This is one of the most rare and elusive Pokemon in the entire game. You're not going to find a nest for this. If you guys have a nest for Porygon, you're lucky, let me tell you that, because this is definitely one of the most rare Pokemon I've seen. This is the only non-evolution Pokemon that I have seen people in the hundreds run for, and it's kind of crazy. I've seen Stampedes for Gyarados, for Dragonites, for Lapras, for Snorlax, but the only Pokemon that isn't humongous that I've seen Stampedes for is the Porygon right here, and in Generation 2, it will have an evolution Porygon 2. They were very creative with that name, and I'm assuming it's going to be 25 candies to get the Porygon 2 because, there's no evolutions right now for the Porygon, and 50 Porygon candy is a fucking lot unless you walk all day and get that from the buddy system. But yeah, I've got 28 candy right now, so I'm assuming I should have just enough for Porygon 2, and this is actually, oh my god, it's a good IV. Best attribute is attack, and its stats are incredible, so I definitely will be evolving this guy to Porygon 2 when Gen 2 drops, unless I find a better one, which I doubt it because these guys are hard to find. But the Porygon candy, you're going to want to save. If you do not have a Porygon yet, go find one. I'm just kidding, it's going to be hard to find one. But if you do find one, I suggest using this as your buddy Pokemon because it is coming out in Gen 2, and they are very, very hard to find. And last but not least, one of the most rare and tankiest Pokemon in the entire game, the Chansey. Now, this is a very, very, very rare one. I know a lot of UK people have a hard time getting these, and even people in the States have a hard time getting these. The Chanseys are very rare. Luckily, I've got two right here. I've got one Chansey at 138 CP, and the other at 161. Both are very, very low CP, and those are the only two Chanseys I've ever seen. I only have 6 candy, so I'm definitely going to probably want to eventually walk the Chansey here and there because the Blissey is going to come out Generation 2, and that's going to be a cool Pokemon to have. I'm assuming it's going to be anywhere between 12 and 25 candy to get that because these guys are so freaking rare to find. But if you are lucky enough to already have your Chansey, I would highly suggest using him in your buddy Pokemon system to walk him and stack up those candies for Generation 2. And that was strategy number 1. That is the Generation 2 preparation strategy. Let's move on to the other 3. Strategy number 1 here is going to be very, very obvious because it's something that everyone is trying to complete in the game, but it's very, very hard for pretty much everybody because in a region that you are, a Pokemon might not be there, and that is going to be completing your Pokedex. Even I, who goes out to Santa Monica almost not every day, but like frequently, like a couple times a week, I haven't even filled my Pokedex yet. I'm at 136, and I've seen 137. I still have some evolutions to do. I can pretty much almost fill my Pokedex right now if I just wanted to, like, rush some evolutions. But basically, the strategy is use your buddy Pokemon to complete your Pokedex. If you need candy for a certain Pokemon, like my Venusaur, I can't show you guys how many Bulbasaur candy I have because I don't have any Bulbasaurs with me right now because I transferred them all because I'm frustrated. But I do not have enough candy to get my Venusaur yet, and that is the one Pokemon that I've seen and not caught. So what I do if I caught a Bulbasaur, I would just set that as my buddy Pokemon and then walk the candies for it until I had enough to evolve all the way to my Venusaur. Same thing for my Charizard, same thing for my, what else? My Muck, my Gengar, my Hypno, everything that I don't have is what I would use as my buddy Pokemon. Now, I'll give you guys some examples of Pokemon that you probably should use when trying to fill your Pokedex because these are the more rare types. Here is my Charmander as my buddy. I do not need the Charmander candy because there is a Charmander nest by my house, but the starters are huge for you guys to use as buddies Pokemons if you do not have your Venusaur, your Charizard, or your Blastoise. I highly recommend you use your starters as your buddy and then walk those candy because, as you can see, you only need 3 kilometers per candy, which isn't really that bad, to be honest with you. And as long as you just keep walking, keep running around and collecting and Pokemon hunting your ass off, you will be getting these candies for your starters. And it's, again, very, very helpful because a lot of people do not stack up on the starters because if you have a lot of one starter around your area, most likely you're not going to have all of them around you. Like myself, I've got a ton of squirrels in Santa Monica and quite a bit of Charmanders there and a couple Charmander nests by my house, but I don't have anything Bulbasaur anywhere. A lot of you guys have Bulbasaur nests by your house, I'm assuming. I don't have anything, so I need to put my Bulbasaur as my buddy Pokemon because I really need the candy. Other rare ones include, but are not limited to, Bellsprouts. I know that they don't seem that rare and they don't seem that crazy, and as you can see right now, he just seems like he's tripping balls. But Bellsprouts are honestly kind of hard to get, and you need 125 candy for Bellsprouts to get your Victory Bell, and it's a pretty good Pokemon to have, and at least by me, they're fairly rare. The Oddish is another candy that you need quite a bit for. It's got 3 evolutions in its chain all the way to the Vileplume, and you need 125 candy for it. And again, at least by me, I know a lot of you guys probably have nests and stuff where they spawn very frequently by you guys, but they are pretty rare out by where I am, so at least for me, the Oddish is a good one for the buddy system. And I don't know about you guys, but the Ghastly, this guy right here is so hard for me to find. I never find him. He's so rare. I did catch a Wild Haunter a couple nights ago, but that was about it, and it wasn't even good IV, so I can't evolve it. But the Ghastly is a great one for me to put as my buddy because he does not spawn a lot around here, and I probably will eventually use him as my buddy. Right now, I'm using the Grimer because he's literally the hardest guy to find ever, but the Ghastly is a good one. Guarantee you, not a lot of you guys will be thinking about the Magikarp in this situation, but it takes 400 Magikarp candy to get your Gyarados, and for people who do not live by the water, unlike myself, they're pretty hard to run into, and it's only 1 kilometer per candy, and I mean, you don't want to have to walk 400 kilometers, but if you guys use this as your buddy, as you're walking around and collecting, you'll eventually stack up the candy towards your Gyarados, and every little bit helps when it comes to the Magikarp. I do not have a Dratini on me right now, but I know that those candies are very, very rare, especially now since there are no Dratini nests. Well, I guess not now. That was like a long update, or an update a long time ago. But you guys, if you have any Dratinis or Dragonites or Dragonairs and you want to get more candy for them, it is 5 km for candy, so it's a lot of walking for 1 candy. But these ones are very worth it because if you do not have a good Dragonite, or if you don't have a Dragonite at all, these guys are beasts. Just look at him. Look at the way he just like, like you want that. You want that in your Pokedex. So the Dratini is a good pick. And last but not least, the reason why I am so self-conscious about my Pokedex and why I can't sleep at night without thinking about filling my Pokedex is this guy right here, this fat sludge of purple deliciousness named the Grimer. This is the guy that I usually keep as my buddy Pokemon because it's only 3 km for a candy, and the Grimer, at least for me, is one of the hardest candies to come by and Pokemon to find in the wild. I'll occasionally, very rarely, get him out of an egg. I think I've gotten 1 Grimer out of an egg before, or maybe 2. And then I found a couple of them hunting in the wild. But these guys are tough, and I really want my muck. Strategy number 3 is for everyone trying to XP farm and get as high leveled as you can right now in the game. And that is going to be an easy strategy because all you need to set as your buddy Pokemon is either your Pidgey, your Weedle, or your Caterpie. All you got to do is just walk 1 kilometer for each of these for 1 candy. And then it's only 12 candy to evolve each, so 12 kilometers will get you 2,000 XP if you do an evolution with a lucky egg. So that's pretty good. That's for XP farming. So if you guys are trying to get your levels up, which is what I'm trying to do right now, this is a good strategy for you to use, although I'm not going to use this strategy because I have a Pokedex to complete. But if I ever do need XP, then the Pidgey, Weedle, and the Caterpie will be my go-to. And then strategy number 4 is not really a strategy, it's the look badass strategy, because if you go into your profile, as you can see, you got your Pokemon sitting right next to you. So a lot of the Pokemon, like the Dragonite, like the Vileplume, like the freaking Charizard, all those guys are just humongous when they stand, especially the Gyarados. He's enormous when he stands next to you. And then you kind of just look like a badass in your profile. Unfortunately, it does not follow you around. Your buddy Pokemon should follow you, although like the coding and that would just be insane. That'd be a nightmare server-wise for Niantic, but like that could be kind of a cool feature thrown into the game. If that actual Pokemon would follow you like in game, like right now, like it would be like next to me, that would be kind of sick. But it's not. It doesn't work like that. But that was today's little strategy video. I know like I didn't really go out and adventure much, but after I export and upload this, I will be going to Santa Monica until like 12 o'clock tonight, and then recording a little Santa Monica return video for you guys because I've not been there in like a week, and I really want to go back. So we're going to Santa Monica tonight. I gotta finish this video, edit, upload it, and then we're out. So that was today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you have not already, and comment down below everything I just told you to comment down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Love you all. Peace out.